U.S. attacks 3 Iranian nuclear facilities.
Russia sets conditions for resolving conflict with Ukraine.
Removing difficulties to keep up with the progress of temporary housing demolition for Dan Lai people.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news, and now let's get started. On the morning of June 22nd, the U.S. military struck 3 sites in Iran, directly joining the Israel's war aimed at preventing the Iran's nuclear program in a risky gambit that could spark a wider regional conflict.
Addressing the nation from the White House, President Donald Trump said Iran's key nuclear sites were completely and fully obliterated. He also warned Tehran against carrying out retaliatory attacks against the U.S., saying Iran has a choice between peace or tragedy. Iran's nuclear agency confirmed that attacks hit its nuclear facilities Fordo, Isfahan and Natanz, but insisted that its nuclear program will not be stopped. The decision to directly involve the U.S. Army in the war comes after more than a week of strikes by Israel on Iran that aimed to systematically eradicate the Iran's air defenses and offensive missile capabilities, while damaging Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities.
On June 21st, Russian President Vladimir Putin stressed that one of the important conditions for resolving the Ukraine crisis is to ensure the absence of nuclear weapons in Ukraine.
In an interview with Sky News Arabia of the United Arab Emirates, UAE, on June 21st, President Vladimir Putin also proposed that Ukraine should maintain a neutral and non-aligned status with any military alliances. According to Mr. Putin, these proposals could become the basis for long-term stability in the region. Also on June 21st, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on Western partners to allocate 0.25% of their gross domestic product, GDP, to help Kyiv boost weapons production. He also stated that Ukraine plans to sign agreements this summer to export weapons manufacturing technology.
Vietnam was re-elected to the Intergovernmental Committee of 2005 UNESCO Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Diversity of Cultural Expressions for the second consecutive time, 2021-2025 and 2025-2029, at the 10th Conference of the Parties to the Convention held from June 18 to 20th at UNESCO headquarters in Paris.
This is the first time since the convention's adoption that a country has served 2 consecutive terms on the committee. The outcome shows the trust and recognition that member states have given Vietnam for its efforts and achievements in carrying out and promoting the convention, as well as for Vietnam's active role, strong standing, and growing credibility at UNESCO. Representatives from 157 countries and the European Union reviewed its implementation since 2005 and since the previous session in 2023. Delegates also discussed ways to strengthen the convention's implementation, dealing the challenges of safeguarding and promoting cultural diversity in the digital age.
Upcoming are some updated news.
Malaysia has officially removed anti-dumping duties on cold-rolled steel imports from Vietnam and the Republic of Korea. Following a sunset review by the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, MITI, the decision, effective from June 23, 2025, ends investigations and duties on cold-rolled, non-alloy steel products over 1.300 mm wide, previously applied to Vietnamese and Korean exporters. Meanwhile, duties remain in place for producers from China and Japan. The review was launched in December 2024 at the request of Micron Steel CRCSDN, BHD, representing Malaysia's domestic steel industry.
On the morning of June 22, under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, the government held a meeting with ministries and agencies, as well as an online conference with localities, to discuss the implementation of temporary and dilapidated housing eradication, a meeting of the State Steering Committee for key national projects and works, and promoting public investment disbursement in 2025. In Nghe An, by June 20th, the whole province had completed support for the construction and repair of 20.068 houses, reaching 96.06% of the total demand. The rate of disbursement of public investment capital by June 10, 2025 reached 32.88% of the total assigned plan. Some capital sources have been disbursed quite well, such as National Target Program on New Rural Construction reached 67.59%. Local budget reached 35.56%. The province's key inter-regional projects basically ensure progress.
On the evening of June 21st, in Hanoi, the Vietnam Journalists Association organized an art program to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Vietnam Revolutionary Press Day, June 21st. 1925 June 21st. 2025, and the 19th National Press Awards Ceremony 2024. From more than 1,900 entries in 13 categories, the final board selected 128 excellent press works to award, including 13 A prizes, 27 B prizes, 49 C prizes and 39 encouragement prizes. Nghe An Journalists Association continues to make its mark with 1 B prize, 1 C prize, 1 encouragement prize and 02 works entering the final round, in which Nghe An Radio and Television Association excellently won Billion 1 prize and 1 C prize.
The elimination of temporary houses and construction of new houses for Đan Lai ethnic households in the core area, Pumat National Park, is a humane policy that receives special attention from Nghệ An province. Up to now, 19 house foundations in Phase 1 have been handed over to construction units. To keep up with the schedule, the demolition of temporary bamboo houses in Khao Phat and Bung villages is being actively implemented by the authorities and functional forces. More in the story.
For many years, Ms. Lati Hoa's family in Bung village, Mon Sun commune has had to live in this makeshift house. They are the beneficiaries of the temporary house demolition support. Therefore, when the border guard persuaded her to dismantle the temporary house, Ms. Wah agreed to dismantle her house and hand over the site to the construction unit.
My family is very poor. The government is helping us with a place to live. I am very happy.
This has been the makeshift home for 5 people of Levan Kim's family in Bung village for many years. Therefore, when the border guard raised the issue, Mr. Kim readily agreed to let the local government assist the roof removal in preparation for building a more permanent new house. Thatched cottage isn't enough to provide shelter from the sun and rain. We just have to endure the bitter cold. I'm too poor. You see.
Many households said that they should leave their temporary houses intact. That is why we had to work with the people to persuade them to let us participate in the demolition of thatched houses.
According to the plan of Nghe An province, housing support for 73 Đan Lai households in Khe Cang area, Mon Sun commune is implemented according to a specific mechanism. Specifically, new houses are built according to the design with an area of 50 square meters. The support amount is 90 million Vietnamese dongs. Dilapidated houses in need of repair are supported with 45 million Vietnamese dongs. However, due to the unique terrain, in addition to the financial support, it is necessary to have the synchronous participation of the locality. After many years of dreaming, dozens of solid houses are gradually being built in the middle of the deep forest and high mountains of Khe Cang and Mon Sun. The lives of Đan Lai people will be more stable and developed in the future.
Now it's the end of the show today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.